Hi all and welcome back to the Uncomplicated podcast. Today we are tackling a topic that so many of us experience, including myself, but rarely talk about, which is imposter syndrome.
Yeah, so it's that nagging feeling of self-doubt, like you're not good enough or don't truly deserve your success. No matter how much you accomplish, it feels like you've somehow tricked people into thinking that you're capable.
And guess what? Even the most accomplished CEOs, doctors, artists, they struggle with this. So if you question your worth and your ability, stay with us because we are unpacking why imposter syndrome happens and more importantly, how to overcome it.
And to kick off, we have a game. So
Right.
it's a yes and no game. So let's kick off with the first question.
Okay, so first one. Have you ever felt like your success was just luck rather than your own hard work?
Okay, ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Oh.
Yes, correct, yes.
Okay, so you felt it before, like MJ play. It's based on luck rather than.
Correct.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Sure.
Question number 2. Do you ever downplay your achievements even when others praise you? Okay,
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Okay,
Okay.
so that, okay. Alright, number 3. Have you ever feared that one day people will realize you're not as good as they think you are? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Alright. Okay, let's discuss the questions. The first one. Have you ever felt like your success was just luck rather than your own hard work? Wow. And you say,
I said yes.
Yeah.
I said yes. I think I will elaborate on question 1 and 3 together. Feeling that they are not as good as what they think you are, as well as thinking that success was just luck. So this is something that I've been discussing with my psychologist as well. So one thing that I think one of my greatest achievements, because when you're talking about imposter syndrome, it's about achievements.
Yeah.
One of my greatest achievements in 2024 was actually getting my certification in schema therapy. Okay, so this certification took me 6 years to get.
oh wow.
Yeah, it took before the pandemic till now. So I got So there are two levels of certification: the standard certification and the advanced certification. And after 6 years, I got my advanced certification. And in the whole of Singapore, right now, there's only 3 people who have advanced certification.
Oh, wow.
There's only 3 of us. But
Wow.
guess what? After I got my certification, what I did? I bought more books on schema therapy. I'm not kidding you. I bought more books because I know what I'm good at, but I know what I'm not good at. You see, so there are certain techniques which I'm like, yeah, I'm very good with this. There are certain things I feel that not very good. I need to brush up on this.
Yeah.
So I bought books on imagery, rescripting, chair work exercise. And when I say about luck as well, because for this certification, we actually have to do videos of very tough patients.
Oh, I see.
And get them assessed by international experts. So it's a very tough one.
Yeah.
But there's still a part of me that, why I was able to pass is because, my client it was a good day for my client. The stars aligned. So therefore, I was able to showcase my skills. If let's say if the thing didn't turn out the way that I wanted to be, then I will be marked down. So I would say I am in fact affected by imposter syndrome myself.
Oh, I see. I would say that I do still also have imposter syndrome myself. But it happens if I know that I didn't put hard work and then I have to perform something. You get what I mean?
Okay.
For example, sometimes when you do hosting, and for myself, I would prepare back end. Like, what I need to say, what I need to do, the plan and all that stuff. And if I know that I've rehearsed, prepared, and I just need to go on stage and deliver, I would have that confidence. But if you say, hey, I give you this, the script, this is the flow, go out there and deliver. I'll start having the the jitters like, oh, but I'm not prepared. I don't think I'm good enough for this. And it's funny because a lot of people will just say, but Kada, I've given you whatever you need, right? And naturally you should be able to do it because it's your job. And I'm like, no, I need to. There's a silent imposter syndrome that comes in because I don't think I am ready to be up without being prepared.
I think there's a bit of difference as well because there is some level of unpreparedness. So there's that anxiety. But what imposter syndrome is, just to clarify, is that you feel that that's not true, that's fake. So when you have actually achieved something, let's say you, I don't know, win the best DJ award or whatever, right? But you still feel that actually no lah, I don't deserve it. I'm not as funny or whatever. You know, there are some people that would be more imposter syndrome.
Right. Okay. Right. I see. Yeah, I'm linking it to my experiences. Okay. Yeah, I think I don't think. Okay, wait. Everybody has it, right? Everybody does feel. Or is it like only a specific type of person would have this imposter syndrome?
Most people will have this part that, which is the critic side of that. That critic side of them, and we have discussed this in previous episodes as well, where this critic voice gives us, if they are healthy, they gives us guidance to what can be improved. So when this voice gives that guidance, and we actually adhere to it. But what happens when you have imposter syndrome is when you actually have made some form of achievement, but this voice still persists.
Right.
And this voice still persists and still tell you that still not good enough. You know?
Right.
Then that becomes a problem, because then when is it that you're good enough? Because there will be the element of what we call is in chemotherapy, the unrelenting standards, that you need to meet the very high levels of standards, then you're good enough. You need to be perfect.
I understand. You got to be perfect, then you think you're good enough.
Correct.
And it's a common thing.
It's common. Okay, so when we're talking about the critic voice, it's something that all of us have.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the imposter syndrome, it may mean that they have actually made an achievement, but to them, still not good enough. So for many people, so there will be people who they haven't achieved anything yet, or they haven't reached that level that would be okay, and they have that critic voice. I think that I wouldn't say that would be imposter syndrome.
I see.
But if let's say they actually get better, then they would be having that actually like, no lah, still need to be like this, still need to be like that. Then there would be, I would say, a level of imposter syndrome.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let me I'm thinking another example as we're talking about when you haven't reached there, and then when you have reached there. Okay. So we have done a few episodes of the podcast, and I would listen to the podcast, and I would think that what can I do better?
Yeah.
And I know that there are certain things that I can do better. One of the things I feel is that I have a lot of filler words in my conversations.
I see.
Which is something I'm a bit more mindful that, okay, I shouldn't be having so much filler words when I'm communicating.
Yeah.
And I think that is the healthy critic saying that, hey, you got too much filler words. But if let's say, never know, right? We win podcast of the year or whatever, and still can't, no lah, we are still not good enough. No, we are still not there yet, or whatever. Then that's when it becomes imposter syndrome. So when there is that achievement, then you still feel that you're not good enough.
I see. Now I want to bring back to the point that you mentioned that you are one of the three that managed to get the certification, and you still feel like there is this imposter syndrome going on with you. But you did mention that it's because there is a certain aspect to the certificate, the certification that requires you to practice more. And I think it's very normal for anyone, even like, for example, okay, passing a car license. Okay, so this is my story. I got a car license, but until today, I don't think I'm a good driver. And it's because you get a license, but there is still the need to practice.
Yes.
There still need to be on the road, hands-on with the real life situation, right? So actually, you did deserve, because you passed the appointment test, but it's just that you need more practice. So would that be the imposter syndrome? I think for your end,
I would say that is still you feeling unprepared, and you still having that critic voice.
Yeah.
But let's say you drive already.
Yeah.
Then traffic police give you that award and say that you're a safe driver or whatsoever. And say, no, actually I still a hazard on the road. And because there are times where I might still need to brake last minute or whatsoever, then that's when imposter syndrome will start setting it.
Okay.
Because if it's the case that you haven't drive, I wouldn't go and say, no, Raihan, don't worry, you are a good driver. You're fine. That one, I'm lying to you lah. That I would have to say that you need to, brush out your skills. You need to get the experience. Go out there, expose yourself, be on the road. Yeah, but when you start getting better and you say, I still cannot, I cannot do it. I don't know. You be a better driver than me. I would say, no, why? What's wrong? It seems like your driving skills are fine already, no problem. Then that will be imposter syndrome.
Will it be the same for you because you did get a certificate? You are actually really good at your job.
I hope.
Is that the is that you need to practice a little bit more in terms of whatever that is lacking there, which is actually okay, but you're good.
Yeah, I would think so. Because and it's just like when we are seeing clients, there would be people who different clients have different presentation, different people have different challenges. So sometimes I need a bit of time to adapt to my clients and all that. But down there, I'll be sometimes I have my voice telling that, hey, you don't know what to do with this client right now. Right? I thought you would go for your senior and whatever. Then my imposter syndrome comes in lah.
Right. I think it happens to most people. In fact, I've been. There will be those kind of thoughts coming in. Okay, but we're speaking about imposter syndrome. You mentioned that even the highly skilled and experienced individuals, whether they're CEOs, doctors, they still feel that way. What could have stemmed for till that happen?
So what could have them would be that element that I mentioned just now, that unrelenting standards. So there is a difference between realistic standards and unrealistic standards. So realistic standards will be like, okay, no, this is good enough. Having that message that, well, this is okay for me. And when the person reach that level of this is good enough and they are satisfied with it or they feel a bit more comfortable with it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But what happens when they have imposter syndrome is they are actually better than most what other people has achieved. But then this is where they are. This is where most people will be, and this is where they expect themselves to be. And when I say they expect themselves, this is at the very top of the
Jen 5 bintang kembali lagi. Khidmat pasangan suami isteri SQ Rauda memang bagus. Memenangi banyak anugerah Propnex, urus niaga HDB terbaik, penyenarai eksklusif terbaik, penerima anugerah Platinum. Hubungi ejen 5 bintang SQ Rauda dan Pak Nas.
whoever people below. So that gap, that will be the imposter syndrome. But I'm not there.
Right. It's like instead of looking at, hey, I'm here, maybe it's more like, oh, they're still there, it's not here.
So when a person comes in with when they are not prepared or they don't have the skills, then it's really about helping them to, for me, it's about helping them to face their fears, to provide them the skills or for them to learn the skills to reach that good enough level. But there will be people, they come in good enough already. But I still feel like I'm not a good enough doctor, or I'm not good enough lawyer or whatsoever. I'm like, why is it still not good enough? What's that thing like? Oh, is that expectations? And usually these expectations would be, I think from young, the expectations that you need to be the best.
Right.
Or number 2 is not good enough and all that. Which is, okay lah, a very Singapore kind of situation as well, where we have all these rankings and all that. I'm surprised, actually. I was talking to some of my older. They're saying that now in school, the classes, they don't have any more class rankings or level rankings.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but last time you would. So even if you are number 3 in class, you still will have that. Why you not number 2? Why you not number 1?
I agree. It kind of stemmed when we were young. Like, you will compare yourself with the class position. I think it's like, I'm number 3. Who's number 2 and number 1?
And even if you're number 1, especially if you have maybe not necessarily parents, but usually be a parents who would still say that, oh, you got number 1. Okay, make sure you keep this position. Like, you don't celebrate it right now. So you have to always be number 1.
I see.
So there are some sayings, especially in the sports, people saying that, well, if I'm not number 1, then something like, if I'm number 2, then it's not good enough or something like that. Yeah, so I have to be number 1. Yeah, no, number 2 is nothing. I have to be number 1, something like that.
Right.
So that would be some form of others. So even if you're number 2 in the world, still not good enough.
I guess it's also because they often celebrate number 1s than the 2s and the 3s. If you were to take a look at media, usually only the winner would be the one getting all the limelight, getting all the attention, and then nobody says congratulations to number 2. Rarely. And I think that builds a pressure to the society, especially because of social media and all that, where I think individually I'll feel like, oh man, if I get number 2, it's still a failure.
Yeah. Even though, if you think about it, number 2, right, is actually a big achievement.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, of course, unless you're at a competition with 3 people, you're talking about a serious number 2 here, then it's a huge achievement.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's just that, yeah, like what I've mentioned earlier, it's just a mental, the way how we will raise, thinking that even if a number 2 is not good enough, because people are going to look at the number 1. And hence that puts that unnecessary pressure in ourselves. Wow. Now, Haikal, do you feel like is there a way for us to to get past this imposter syndrome? Is there a way to get past imposter syndrome to eventually realize that we aren't good enough based on the skills that we have?
There would be ways. One would be the acknowledgement of where this comes from. Understanding where this comes from. Because why I say where this comes from, usually this would be from our own childhood experiences or being told that this is not good enough. And when my clients are adults, they come in, honestly, most of them won't have their parents or their teachers or whatever telling them that you are not good enough. But that message of you need to be number 1, you need to be the best, or you're not good enough has already been internalized. So where does that need for you to be the best come from? And so as a result, now you would you continue to maintain the expectations that people used to have of you, of yourself.
Yeah.
That will be first. Second one would be for you to be able to celebrate your successes and acknowledge your strengths. Most of the people, when I'm talking about people coming in with imposter syndrome, I ask them, this is where you are right now. If let's say, okay, let's talk about jobs, because I do have people who are really at the top of their jobs and they still feel that they're not good enough.
Wow.
And I ask them that at the start of your career, maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when you started, and you know that this is where you're going to be. You're going to be a surgeon, for example, or you're going to be I don't know, whatever lah. Would that sound awesome to you? And most of them would say, that would sound great. Yeah, but now I'm here. Can go better. Can go better. So they want to celebrate. So, but what is it that you have right now, or the strengths or the skills that you have right now that enable you to get here? So these are some successes and strength that you can reflect on to tone down that imposter syndrome, that feeling that you are not good enough.
But, having gratitude help.
I would say so. Yeah. Because when you are actually practicing gratitude, you are being thankful. When you are practicing gratitude, you actually look at the same situation from a positive kind of lens instead of from a negative lens. And this is actually very powerful. You say about gratitude as well, because our thought is something that we can change.
Yeah.
Easily if we want to. But of course, it's something that we are not used to doing, because this is how our lens would be. So, for example, let's say about switching of thought. I know we are drifting a bit from imposter syndrome, but I'll still connect it to it later. But for example, for yourself, right, where would be your favorite holiday destination?
Oh, many places.
There's
anywhere.
one top one.
Top one.
One top holiday destination.
Right now, I want to go to Edinburgh.
Why Edinburgh?
I just love the mountains. I've been there once. I want to go back.
Yeah, love it. I was there 2 years ago. Love it.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm gonna switch that thought into. So you love Edinburgh because of the mountains and so on. Can you give me 2 things that is not so good or you don't like about Edinburgh?
People getting drunk at night.
Okay.
And what's not to love? It's so hard to choose. Isn't that one incident?
Okay.
Yeah.
People getting drunk.
People
And
getting drunk.
I think for me, would be when I went there, the weather is so
Was erratic?
It's erratic.
Oh.
I reached there. We arrived in Edinburgh. The forecast was 5 degrees.
Huh?
5 degrees.
Okay.
So I from the aeroplane, right, from the airport. So I was dressed for 5 degrees. Guess what? -5. Oh, and there's from 5 to -5, you can really feel about. Oh, in Singapore, 20 to 30 degrees. Wow. The weather, and then when you go out the next day, the weather is very. I mean, that's my experience during the time there, lah.
okay.
So does that mean that Edinburgh is not a good place? It has its strength, but of course there are ways for it to be. So you can switch your mindset to Edinburgh is the best place, but there can be still some weaknesses that it has, but it doesn't take away the wholesomeness or how special Edinburgh is to your heart.
Yeah.
Right? So that applies to, I guess, us as well. If you can be a good, for example, you can be a good nutrition. Of course, there are certain things that you may say that, it's not really my area of expertise. Then, okay, but then that doesn't take away that you have these other skills or abilities as well.
Right.
So, same applies to my clients who say that, but yes, for example, if I'm a doctor, I'm good at diseases, right? Surgery always good, but then this kind of thing, this aspect, maybe working with some with this one, but with a secondary diagnosis or whatever, I'm not so good at that. Yeah, but that doesn't take away your strength. You're not supposed to be the holistic doctor anyway.
I got it. I understand. So it's actually, I think I wanna add on to what you say. It's also because society has these expectations, thinking that, for example, if you are a CEO, you should know everything. The whole entire processes of the whole entire company, from admin to finance to logistics. But truth is, you're a CEO. You're only good at CEO jobs. You're not good at other jobs. So hence, that's why you need to work alongside with others. And if you feel like as if, I'm not a good CEO because I don't understand, then you're not going to be the CEO of the company if you are having to do other jobs. That's why you need the others to help you to do the jobs.
Correct.
So it's now I see it. It's more of you acknowledging that your skills may not be as excellent because maybe that's your main role. Then you need others to actually fill in that.
Correct. Yeah. So acknowledging that you are not perfect.
Yeah.
But who is?
Yeah. So
But at the same time, you do have certain strengths as well.
yeah.
Which is something I try to remind myself also.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Because I do personally feel like, for example, this podcast, I think most of you, if you guys are listening to this, would agree that Haikal has all terms and all the knowledge. And in fact, when I first met Haikal, when we first wanted to do this podcast, I just told him straight, Haikal, I don't have the knowledge like you do, so I need that knowledge from you. That I can help to just add on and just bounce back and listen and put myself in a listener's shoe and how I would react to it. And
that's where the synchrony comes in.
Yes.
I have that thought of maybe podcast would be good because I have my social media but sometimes social media very limited in how much information you can share. A podcast be good, but then there'll be that side of me say, but you know how to handle all this technical stuff, Yeah, that I luckily got right.
Yeah, and it's the same. Actually, I even thought but Haikal is the one giving all the context. What am I doing? Right? Then I was thinking, I had anything on this. So we play a part. We play a part. He's good at that, and I good at this, and then we balance out. And I think that's where it's all about, acknowledging that we're not perfect, but nobody is.
Correct. Yeah. So if you're there's that side of you, that critic voice of you saying that, hey, they are not good enough and all that. Well, stop. Reflect, see what strengths you have, and from there you can see if there are ways for you to improve. Look at improving them, but generally if you are at some level that you can celebrate it, don't be shy to celebrate it.
Yeah. So Haikal, celebrate you. Congratulations once again on the certification.
Thank you.
It's well deserving.
Thank you.
And we are super happy that you are here with us because
I'm happy to be here too.
we've learned a lot for the past episodes so far.
No, it's 33.
3 episodes. So, continue doing you.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's it. I hope you guys have learned something about imposter syndrome. It's not a reflection of your ability, but it's a reflection of your self-perception. I think the truth is you do belong, you are capable, but of course we're not perfect and nobody is.
Yeah, because sometimes there is that thought that you are doubting yourself, telling you that you are not doing well, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Don't let don't let that doubt stop you from actually stepping and achieving your potential.
That's right. So to everyone listening, remember that you work for your success and you deserve it. Your own, all right? So stop questioning your worth, start celebrating it, and I hope all of us can, benefit one way or another on this episode.
So if today's episode speaks to you, share with someone who you think will be benefiting for them, and let's break this cycle of self-doubt together. So until the next time, let's uncomplicate
The complicated.